Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 6, the finale to our trip to the Northeastern Airport. Now, I know I fucked up on a little bit of recording, but I kind of explained that in the last episode. If you want to go check it out, it was a pretty epic moment that I failed on, but my bad. I already apologized. Let's move on. Now, before I actually start getting into what's going to be happening for season 2 and what actually happened at the beginning of season 2, which I feel I need to explain. I want to start talking a little bit about something that has nothing to do with video games or anything like that at all. It's something that's been in the news for the past couple weeks. I know you're like, oh, news, boring, whatever. This is important shit. I feel like talking about it. I got kind of riled up when I was talking to my buddies about it earlier, so figured I'd share. Now, one of the things in my life that I really like to do is I like to, I follow sports, pretty much all of them: baseball, football, basketball, golf, whatever. College level, pro level. I just enjoy it. I like playing them. I like watching them. I like following them. Now, sometimes there's different things that happen in sports that kind of transition over to like real world news, not just sporting news. And one of those things happens to be what happened at Penn State. I don't know how many of you know it, but it's this horrible man, Sandusky. For years he was taking little boys and molesting them. Horrible. Now, this coach that's been there for decades, Joe Pa. Turns out he knew about it. Whatever. I'm not getting into that side of it. Is what I want to get into right now is the fact of the statue itself. There's this big debate on this statue that's sitting right outside of the Coliseum there, where Penn State plays football. Now, for years and years and years, this statue has represented this man, at the time a great man, who kept this college program alive, who basically, when you saw Joe Pa, you knew it was Penn State. Like, it was one and the same. And there's these people that are protecting this statue. Now, there's this huge uproar over whether it should stay up or be torn down. The people that want to tear it down, they're saying that the statue is this symbol of all these horrible things that happen to these children. Now, I'm not saying that Joe Pa is being compared to the child molester. He's not being compared to the monster that Sandusky is. But, here's the big but. It was proven, and he admitted it, that when he found out what Sandusky was doing, that he did nothing. He didn't go to the police. All he did is he told some of the directors that, run the college, and wiped his hands clean of it. He didn't do anything. Sometimes inaction is just as much of a crime as committing a crime. I'm not saying he's the monster that Sandusky was, but what he didn't do is not just as wrong, but it's fucking wrong. However you want to look at it. Now, the people that are protecting this statue, they're saying, oh, well, you can't tear it down for it has nothing to do with those children. It's just a symbol of all this great stuff that he did in the past. He wasn't the one that did this. He wasn't the one that did that. Well, the moment that it came out that he did nothing, that statue turned from a symbol of this great man that did all these wonderful things to a symbol of inaction during horrible, horrible times. Now, the only thing I can really compare this to is when you look at another symbol that we all know about, the swastika. What do you think of? Germany, Hitler, all the horrible fucking things that happened during World War II, concentration camps. Now, does anybody know what the swastika was before Hitler took it over? A long time ago, the swastika represented good. It was in some other cultures, it was the symbol meaning good. So it was a godly symbol. It's been used in a couple different cultures, and all of a sudden this horrible man did this horrible crime, and now they look at it as something completely different. These people that are trying to protect this statue, I'm not saying that they're bad people, but they gotta look at this whole thing objectively. I understand that they might, have some sort of feelings of like, maybe they had some sort of connection to the college where, Joe Pa did something good for them, so they want to protect his name in some fashion. Fine. If that's the case, fine. Stick up for that. But you can't sit there and look the parents in the eyes of these children that were hurt and say that statue belongs because he did nothing when he knew what that man was doing. One of the best pieces of advice that somebody ever gave me. I mean, it's so simple. So simple. Do the right thing always. Think about what you're going to do beforehand. Do the right thing always. In this case, there is no gray line. There is no gray line. It came out that he did nothing. It was wrong. There is no way around it. It was wrong. Now, the only reason I kind of want to talk about this is sometimes I just don't understand how people can go into a conversation, whether they want to have a debate, an argument, they just want to put their point of view across. Sometimes people have to look at things objectively, and there are people out there that they just can't. They can't look at both sides, and I don't understand it. I don't understand how you can sit there and try to argue your point without looking at the other side and saying, you know what, that may be right. If you're going to try to argue your point with somebody, then you have to look at their side of it and be willing to accept what they have to offer to you as right. And I understand that nobody of any kind of importance or really anybody is actually going to hear this. But the fact of the matter is, they're debating whether, the directors of the college are debating on whether they should take this thing down. Tear it down. Nobody wants this symbol of inaction during tragic times to be standing and staring them in the face every time that there's this game on TV. Every time that people go to the stadium, they're going to be reminded of this horrible, horrible time. Every time that it's on TV, it's going to be brought up. Joe Pa did this, what do you think of that? And it's just going to keep repeating and repeating and repeating. Tear it down. Build up something new, something of value. That has no value anymore. Now, I've probably talked a little too much about this, but I do want to get into the actual gameplay here a little bit and kind of what's coming up for Season 2. Now, obviously, we made it to the airfield without too much resistance. Yeah, I broke my leg and kind of got attacked a little bit, but we were able to get up here, get some decent weapons and things like that. Ultimate goal, we want a helicopter. Who wouldn't? So, our plan for Season 2 is, we're going to go down to Baronzino, or however the hell you say it, and find a toolbox and start making our way back to the northeast airfield, northwest airfield, which I know is going to be just littered with people fucking taking pop shots at us, things like that. But I want a fucking helicopter. I want to be able to rain down on these zombies, these, bandits, things like that. Just, it would be badass. Now, in our quest, we met up with another one of my buddies, TC, and we happened to be in the middle of the map. We got the toolbox and everything like that. Just couldn't find a vehicle yet, and we happened to be looting this store in the middle of the map. I can't remember what the name of the town is for the life of me right now, but it's right in the middle of the map, and there was a grocery store there, and it was pitch black at night. And he was still kind of new to the game, didn't have a whole lot of stuff, needed a couple things, so we hop in there, and I had actually found an Atlas pack, so I was gonna pick that up. And as I'm grabbing some gear, all of a sudden, just you hear the shots being fired, bang, 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 and I fucking drop. I got like 800 blood left on me. I'm like, what the fuck? And apparently somebody either just spawned in or it was tracking us the whole way and took me out. And then both TC and my other buddy that of course we can't see, so I'm like, there's a guy in the back, I'm bleeding out, I'm counting down my blood, 300, 200, whatever. And they see each other, but they thought they were the bandit, so they start shooting at each other. TC ends up dying, Mix ends up killing my buddy, and I don't know what happened to the guy, never found him. But to say the least, I was on day 8 and I was pissed. But what are you gonna do? For Season 2, I already had some footage, but I figured from now on, everybody's going to die. I don't know exactly how Season 2 is going to work out, if I'm going to continue this, this is where we're going and this is how we got there. Maybe leave some comments below what you think I should be doing, but until then, this has been the DayZ Series 1 finale. Peace.